Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the presentation. I'm Jason Brown, your host, and you're in the right place. We're going to be kicking off the webinar. So for the next 45 minutes to an hour, do me a favor. If you have a cell phone or anything like that, put it on Do Not Disturb. Make sure you close out anything that might be a distraction, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And I want to make sure you're locked in on this information that I'm about to share with you. So we got a lot to get into, a lot to cram into this small time frame. So let's get to it. Now, I am going to be showing you how it's possible to profit from the stock market, regardless if stocks are going up or down, okay? Because we all know that stocks don't just go up, they go down. So we're going to show you how to profit regardless of which direction they're going, all while minimizing the risk, okay? Even if you don't have a lot of time, I'm talking 2 hours a week, you can get this, all right? So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to break down the 3 most important stock trends to spot in order to enter and stay in winning trades longer. And we also want to show you how to exit losing trades faster. So it's not all about just, every trade making you money, but when one isn't working, how can you spot it quickly and get out of it? I'm going to walk you through 2 of my favorite ninja option strategies that can supercharge your earning potential and give you a strategy in both up and down markets. And that's the key here, being able to have a strategy no matter what the market is doing. I'm also going to break down my 3P, or what I like to call my power trade system, for picking profitable stock trades, again, in less than 2 hours, guys, regardless if the market is up or down. A lot of people are busy, right? And I'm going to show you how, if you can at least carve out 2 hours a week, you can make this thing happen for you. If you're not familiar with me, some of you may have found me through my YouTube channel. So I'm a YouTuber. I post a ton of YouTube videos. You can see one of our videos, how we made $100,000 in one day. Had my daughter with me in that video, on down to, all kind of stuff we post, how to open a trading account, how to achieve your goals, stuff like that. So maybe you found me through that way. If you didn't, you may be familiar with me through the Brown Report, which is my blog. I'm also the host of the Money Markets and Mindset podcast, where I talk about money, the stock market, and the mindset to be successful. Or maybe you heard about my program, Power Trades University, which, yes, I will be sharing with you a little bit more about that later on. But here's a funny note about me is I don't love the stock market, okay? I actually, I don't love putting money at risk, but what I do love is what the stock market can do for me and my family. So people see me trade and post these videos like, you must love it. I do enjoy what I do, but I love what it can do for me and my family is what I'm really excited about. I'm excited about what it can do for you and your family, okay? So I like to just show a little bit of personal side of me, so you know who you're learning from. Me and my best friend, top right there, we both are certified scuba divers. We jumped out of a perfectly good airplane and did a tandem dive. Now you can see my daughter down there on the lower left, and we actually have another baby on the way. It's going to be a boy. So on the bottom right, we had our baby shower down there. And the reason I like to post that picture is because, that's where I live. That's my backyard. And I used to be like, well, maybe I won't post a picture like that because people don't want to see that. They'll think you're bragging. And then I realized, you know what? I worked too hard to get where I'm at. And I always said I wanted a house on the lake. And if I were ever to get to that situation, I wouldn't try to shove it underneath the rug and act like it's not a big deal. So I love where I live. And more importantly, I love the systems, the investments, the businesses that help me get here. And that's what I want to share with you today. So warning, okay? I'm giving you a fair warning. I'm getting ready to show you some of my trading statements, all right? And so you're going to see some big numbers. Don't freak out. But if you're going to learn from someone, you want to know if they're making money. I used to have a bunch of testimonials from my students, but then I was like, it doesn't matter. My students aren't the ones teaching you. I'm the one teaching you. So I'm going to share with you what I've been able to do, what I'm currently doing, and why I believe this track will continue. So back in 2003, that's right, 2003, I've been trading since 2003. And I remember growing my first, I had about $10,000. I grew it to a six-figure trading account that you can see right here, back when it was called Options Express. Now, since then, Options Express has been bought by Charles Schwab, so Options Express doesn't actually exist anymore because Charles Schwab bought them. But been doing this since 2003. If you look at 2018, in the first 6 months of the year, as you can see, this is my Charles Schwab statement. Okay, I was able to generate $382,000 in profit, just shy of $400,000 in 6 months. I know some people who work all year long to make maybe 50 to 100,000. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just trying to show you the power of the stock market. When you got your money working for you and you got leverage, it's amazing that you can generate what it takes most people a year or 4 years or 5 years to make, and you can do it in 6 months. Okay, but that's not it, folks, because sometimes people be like, well, that was a fluke. He can't do it again, or, show us something else. But January 1st, the first trading day of the month, right? So New Year's Eve, the market was closed, and then January 2nd was the first trading day of the month. I made $100,000 in one day, and that's the video that's on YouTube as well that I show people how I did. Now, some people are going to say, how much money did you have to do that? All right, so let me just get that out the way. I had about $200,000 in that trade, and I made $100,000. So a couple things I want you to note before you be like, well, of course, you had $200,000. It was a 50% return. So I don't care if you had $10,000, you would have made $5,000. If you had $100,000, you would have made $50,000. In my case, I had $200,000 in that trade, so I made $100,000. So pay attention to the percent return versus how much money someone has. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say my results are not typical, and I'm in no way inferring that you will make this kind of money. Investing involves risk of loss, and you should seek a financial advisor or learn how to do this for yourself. But I am sharing with you what's possible by learning this information, but I'm no way guaranteeing that you'll get the same results that I'm getting. Also, a week later, I was in a little company called Beyond Meat. That's what the ticker symbol BYND down there stands for. And I actually made another $140,000. That's right. So if you look at the date from January 1st to January 14th, almost $250,000. I'm about $4,000 shy at that time of doing $250,000 in just 2 weeks. All right. So that's who I am. That's what I'm about. Those are the type of trades that I make. And it's not because I'm special. It's just I've figured out how this works. And when it works good. Sometimes it doesn't work. Let me throw that out there. But when it works really well. So let's talk about you. This isn't, as we get ready to get into the content, because I know somebody's like, let's go. All right. This is not for you if you're looking for a way to get rich quick without learning how stocks and options work together. If you're lazy and not willing to put in work to actively manage your own money. So I don't manage people's money. I don't want to manage your money. Okay. And so this is simply going to be about how you can do this for yourself and follow someone like me. And then you can decide if you want to make the same moves. But if you don't have at least 2 hours a week, I can tell you right now, don't try to get wealthy. Just go get a job and stay there. All right. If you're not willing, by the way, I joke a lot. So, if you take offense to someone joking, like, lighten up, I'm just kidding, right? Jobs are good. I had one for a long time. If you're not willing to take calculated risk, this is the stock market. You could lose money. All right. So if you're not willing to take a calculated risk, I can tell you right now, this will not be for you. Okay. Also, if you get upset or offended when someone gives 60+ minutes of free content and then makes an offer at the end, because yes, I'm going to make you an offer at the end to join me inside of Power Trades University, should you want to go further with your learning, but I'm going to give you a ton of free content, even if you don't want to go further with your learning. All right. Now, this is for you if you want to develop a plan for generating consistent income from the stock market, even if you have less than $1,000 to start with. But if you got a couple $100,000 like me, you're going to do pretty well as well. But you don't have to have that type of money. I started with $500. Okay. This is also for you if you're looking for a game plan to confidently grow your account while working a full-time job. I don't day trade and I don't sit in front of the computer all day. That is not my style. I like life. I like scuba diving. I like going out living. And I can't do that if I'm trapped behind a computer for 8 hours of a day looking for trades. That's not success to me. So if you want to learn how to do this while still working your full-time job or being out playing with your kids or being a stay-at-home dad or mom, this is for you. All right. And then if you want to discover how to protect your investments, because it's not just about making the money, it's also about protecting and keeping it from major losses, even if you've lost big money in the past. Okay. Because you probably didn't know what I'm about to share with you. So even if you lost big money in the past, this is going to be for you. And then last but not least, if you want to learn the strategies to generate money in any market condition, even from falling stocks, this is for you. So let's dive into the system. What is the system? I call it my 3P system: power charts, power trades, power profit. So let's talk about the first P, right? How do I find stocks to invest in? Okay, there's 3 key financial drivers. Okay, if you're taking notes, you might want to write this down because we're going to go fast. Sales revenue. Sales revenue is what you want to pay attention to. Profit margin is what you want to pay attention to. And then earnings is what you want to pay attention to. These are the 3 key financial drivers. So if you hear about fundamental investing, these are the things that you're going to be looking for when you're doing fundamental investing. Is it a good company? Should I put my money into it? So let's break those down. Sales revenue tells you if a company is selling their products and how many they are selling. But here's the key. Sales revenue does not tell you if the sales are profitable. Okay, that's a big difference, right? Revenue versus profit, 2 different things. I know a lot of companies that make a ton of revenue, but they actually lose money every year. Okay, so don't confuse the 2. But revenue is going to tell you, are they selling something? Are they bringing some kind of money in? Okay. Now, profit margins tell you if the product they are selling is generating a profit or loss, right? So once they, minus out the cost, the shipping, the handling, whatever the case may be, what it costs to manufacture, do we have a profit margin or do we have a loss? Okay. And then earnings. Earnings is going to tell you if the company is operating at a profit or loss after all expenses, right? So maybe you sell something like an iPhone right here. And yes, they might sell it for $1,000, but it may also cost them $600 to make it. And so you're like, oh, so they make $400. Well, not quite. How much does Apple pay for its employees, its buildings, for insurance, for retail space? And so they could be operating at a loss after all their expenses are paid for. I'm just using that as an example, okay? And so earnings tell you, again, if you're operating at a profit or loss after all expenses, all right? So look at this picture right here. What is this a picture of? I'll give you about 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay. It is a heart thermometer or a heart monitor, right? So if you're in a hospital, I don't know why I said thermometer, like you're taking the temperature of a heart. But if you're in a hospital, okay, they're going to bring on the heart monitor to see if you're alive, if your heart's beating, okay? And then if the line flatlines, then what happens? You're dead. They need to try to come in and revive you. Now, you didn't have to be a doctor to know that. And so what I like to say is, when you look at the stock market, it's very similar, okay? If you're not familiar with a stock chart, then you don't know what you're looking at. But just like the heart monitor, you've seen it so many times on TV and movies and different things like that, that when you see it, you know what it is, okay? And so in the stock market, same thing. If you look at a stock chart enough, you know when's the best time to buy, when's the best time to sell. So most people say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, we have a different saying in the stock market. If you learn how to read the charts, learn how to understand patterns, we like to say a picture is worth thousands of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, because that is what we're all about. We're about looking at patterns and looking at charts, determine the best time to buy and sell so that we can pull 1,000 or more dollars out of that picture. Okay. So let's talk about the 3 ways that stocks can trend. Okay. They can trend up, which is the one everybody's familiar with, right? They want to buy low, sell high. We all know, especially if you've been investing for a while, that is not always the case. If you've been through 9/11, if you've been through China trade war with President Trump, you got coronavirus. If you've been through any of those events, maybe you're older, you've been through the Great Depression or something like that, you know that stocks don't always go up. They can go sideways, and even worse, depending on if you have the strategies, they can go down. That can be bad for you if you don't have the additional strategies that I'm going to share with you here today. So let's talk about the trend that most people are familiar with, which is The uptrend, it has to go up, right? So when you look at a chart like this, here's Apple. Here's a chart of Apple, and it is in a uptrend, okay? And so the stock is going up. An easy way to tell if a stock is in an uptrend is just look at the bottom left and ask yourself, is it in the top right-hand corner? That means the prices went from low to high over time. That is the uptrend. But the key is being able to spot an uptrend when it's getting ready to start. Okay, everybody likes to see it when it's over, but can you spot it before it starts or when it's getting ready to start? I'll show you another one. Here's Tesla. Tesla for a long time was trading around $200. All of a sudden, this thing shot up to 600, then shot up to like 900, almost $1,000. Are you able to spot when that trend starts? There are key indicators and things in the chart that may tell you when those trends are getting ready to start. Okay. Now, the second way that stocks can trend are sideways. All right. What does that mean? Take a look at Ford. I like to use this as example because, sometimes you get people who are, I call them the know-it-alls. They're like, well, you just buy and hold and you'll do okay. And I'm from Detroit, Michigan. So I say, all right, how about if I would have bought Ford Motor Company back in 1998 and held it throughout, January of 2020? How would I have done? You would have bought Ford at $12.60. And then you look up and it is 2020. So that's about what? 22 years later, Ford is trading at $9.15. You actually lost $3. Okay. 22 years. You put your head down, you put your money in this company, and someone told you, just forget about it. Collect the dividend. And next thing you know, it's worth $3 less. You lost a ton of time. Okay. And so that's the problem with buy and hold. 22 years later, the stock has still not moved, which is why I recommend actively managing your accounts. What does that mean? There were times where Ford was up that we might have wanted to take profit and roll into a different stock. And there were times where Ford were going down where we might have wanted to deploy a strategy where we can capitalize on the downside. Okay. And so speaking of the downside, that is the third way that stocks trend. They don't always go up. They don't always go sideways. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they can go down. Okay. So here's a chart of Bed Bath and Beyond getting their lunch eaten. Okay. Stock is just in a downtrend. So opposite of the uptrend, if you look at the top left corner, if the stock is in the bottom right, we call that the penalty box. Okay. It just means they're not doing well. Okay. So this is the biggest problems that most investors face. Why? Because most stock traders and investors, whatever you want to classify yourself as, they can only make money one out of three ways that a stock can move. And we just told you there's two other ways it can move. So if you can only make money one out of three ways, let's put that into a mathematical equation. That just simply means that you have a 33% chance of success. Okay, I don't know where you went to school, but 33% chance of success is basically saying there's a higher probability that you're going to fail. Okay. And so most investors have no strategy to protect their profits. They have no simple way to make money from stocks falling. And I want to change that for you today. Okay. So what this really means is when you really think about it, 33% chance of success. What's the opposite of that? 67% chance that you will fail. Most people literally, when they go to quote unquote invest, most people are just flushing money down the toilet, have no idea what they're doing. They don't know when they're buying, when they're selling, and they don't know why. Okay. And so what's the answer? What's the answer, Jason Brown? Okay. You're telling me you got the answer to not be part of the 67% that fails. I'm telling you, you can definitely increase and turn those odds in your favor. So I want to talk to you about options. Options are the answers. The reason I picked this picture is because I want you to think about building a house. Can you imagine if you can only build a house with a hammer? Well, what about a shovel or a tractor to dig out the basement and pour the foundation? What about a screwdriver as you're hanging electrical wiring and sockets? What about a wrench? Okay. And so when you only know how to buy stock, it's like building a house with only having a hammer. You don't have the other tools. And that's what I want to give you today. Okay, so what are options and how do they work? There's really two types of options, and we're going to break those down. So let's dive right into that. Okay, the two types of options are call options, put options. There is not a third option. Every strategy you hear about, iron condors, bull call spread, bear put spreads, all this stuff, they literally are constructed. These are strategies that are constructed just from these two options. Calls mean you believe a stock is going up. Put options is typically what you would use if you believe a stock is going down. Okay, so let's break this down. A call option gives you the right to control a stock at a certain price for a certain amount of time. So I want you to remember that. Control a stock at a certain price for a certain amount of time. It also allows you to invest in higher price stocks at a fraction of the cost. And then it offers leverage for a small investment account, right? So if you just got $1,000 or less and you're like, man, by the time I buy one share of Tesla at $1,000, I can buy one share. You know, you can't really make any big money like that. But what if you can control 100 shares of Tesla for that same $1,000? And that's what options allow you to do, is leverage. Okay. So let me walk you through an example. That Beyond Meat trade that I made $146,000 on, I paid $48,000. I'm going to walk you through the specifics, but just follow me here. I paid $48,000 for the options, and I was able to bring in $146,000 in profit. So let me walk you through what that looked like. Here's the chart of Beyond Meat. We saw the Bollinger Band breakout. I don't have time to explain what that is. We talk about it in our course, but we saw the breakout happening. And so we knew that volatility was high and we thought the stock was getting ready to move. So we bought the options right there. And then the stock ran up and we saw that dark candlestick and we said, let's take our profit and sell. Okay. So let's talk about control versus ownership. Let's look at had I bought the stock versus buying the option. So here's the Beyond Meat trade. The stock at that point cost $80 a share. Now I was controlling 5,000 shares. So let's just assume I would have had to buy 5,000 shares with the stock. Okay. And then the stock ran up to $132 a share. So it went from 80 to 132. Everyone with me? So let's talk about it. If I would have bought the stock for $5,000 shares, for $80 a share, it would have cost me $400,000. Most people do not have $400,000. Okay. And then when the stock ran up to 132, I would have had $660,000. So if you look at the profit, $660,000 total revenue minus $400,000 cost of the trade, it would have been $260,000 profit or 65% return. Now, that's not bad. 65%, not bad. But how many people have $400,000 to put up to try and get a 65% return? Now, let's look at the option side. I paid $9.70 for 50 contracts. So I paid $48,500 because options control about 100. So per contract. So if I had 50 contracts, I was controlling 5,000 shares. Okay. So it cost me $48,500. And then I sold them for $39 a contract, which was $195,000 in revenue. So if we look down here, $195,000 was total revenue minus $48,500 was cost, $146,500 in profit. Now, yes, you made more money buying the stock, but I would argue again, don't look at the amount of money, look at the return. That's a 302% return. Now, we don't have time to get into, well, what if the stock went the other way and all this and that, right? Because I know someone's going to be sitting here saying, but what if the stock goes down, right? You would have to manage the risk, selling out of the money option, close the option short, and take a small loss. There's ways to manage the trade, all right? We don't have time to get into all the intricacies of managing it. I just want to show you what's possible, okay? Fair enough. Let's move on. Silly question, but if you had the choice between a 62% return and a 302% return, would you be okay with a 302% return and at the same time, not having to put up $400,000. Okay. That is the question I want you asking yourself. I'm sure everyone watching this is raising their hand like, heck yes, I would be okay with that, Mr. Brown. All right, so let's keep the party going there, right? When you look at options, 5 times the return, 5x, all right? 5x the return using options versus buying the actual stock. So let's just recap. The power of call options allow you to exponentially increase your profit potential. I like that word potential because it's no guarantee. It allows you to control higher price stocks and higher quality stocks like the Googles, the Teslas, the Amazons of the world. And then it offers leverage for growing a small trading account. Can you imagine if you had $1,000 and you were able to get a 300% return? Wouldn't that be nice to bring back an extra $3,000? I'm sure you would agree that would be awesome. So let's talk about put options now. Put options are typically used for a bearish strategy. You know what bearish means? We believe stocks are going down. So put options are typically a bearish strategy, and it gives you the right to put the stock to someone else at a specific price. I'll say it another way. You can force someone to buy your stock at a specific price, typically a higher price, okay? Now, there's a lot of questions that may come up. What if I don't own the stock? This, that, and the third. You don't actually have to own the stock. You can borrow it. There's a whole bunch of other things you can do. You can sell your option, close it out. Just keep in mind, it gives you the right to put the stock to someone else at a specific price. It allows you to profit from a stock falling, okay, going down. And then it also allows you to protect your portfolio and lock in gains. So when things sell off and things get bad, you can buy a put option and you won't lose any more money past the put option strike price that you bought because you can force someone else to buy your stock at a higher price. It's cool stuff. Trust me. All right. I love this slide. You can literally, is what I've just been saying, force someone to buy your fallen stock at a higher price. It's like you bought something at 100. And if you buy a $90 put, if it falls down to $50, you can force someone to buy it from you at 90. So if you own it at 100 and you can force somebody to buy it at 90, you will never lose more than the $10 difference between 100 and 90. All right. That's just a quick example, but I'm going to walk you through one. So look at this ticker symbol here, which is CAR, which is Avis Budget. That's your ticker symbol, CAR. Okay. First of all, let me turn on my drawing tool here. You can see we have a down trend on this stock right here, okay? And then we had an uptrend, but what's important is that we were able to spot the downtrend. So we were able to profit from that stock falling during that time frame. What we did was we bought put options. You can see down here, we bought 100 put options, okay? On ticker symbol CAR, and it cost me about $55,000. You can see right here. And then I end up selling it and bringing back like something like $81,000, which was a total profit of like $25,000. Okay. From the stock falling, ladies and gentlemen, which is my favorite part. Like it didn't go up, it went down and I made money. Okay. If that doesn't get you excited, this might not be for you because that gets me pumped. Okay. I told you. I'm going to show you how it's possible to make money from not only stocks going up, but also from the stock potentially falling. So here's what I want you to take away is the missing piece is learning how to strategize with options. The missing piece to your puzzle, your financial future, to being a profitable trader in any market condition. I can tell you right now, if you haven't been consistently profitable, it's only a few things that stop you, without getting into like consistency, mindset, position size, and some of that stuff. Most people's number one problem is they don't have the strategies or know how to use options to construct these sophisticated financial models to make more money in bullish markets, lose less when things go against them, or even make money when stocks are falling. Guarantee you, that is the heart of most people's problems, okay? And so there's 3 important steps to success. Let's just break them down plain English, if you want to succeed in this industry, what must you do? Number one, you have to learn how to read stock charts so you can identify the correct trend, okay? All of this is useless if you're picking the wrong stocks, first of all. You got to learn how to read the chart to understand what's the right trend to apply it on. Can you imagine if a doctor came in and couldn't read the medical chart or couldn't read the heartbeat monitor and they just said, give him some drugs, I think he's dead. And you're like, whoa, doc, his heart monitor is showing he's fine. Give him some drugs anyway. Like that would be crazy, right? And so I'm saying that jokingly because that's what people do in this industry. They want to come in, buy some stock. Well, why are you buying that one? Just because I like it. I don't think that's a good reason. Buy it anyway, right? Like people just do silly stuff. That's called gambling, all right? So you want to learn how to read the stock chart so you can identify the correct trend. Then you want to determine the best time to buy and sell within that trend for maximum profit. And equally as important, you need to learn when the trend is over so you can either cut your losses or, lock in your profit and then move on to the next horse that you can ride. Okay. And then the third thing, most important, well, they're all equally important, but super important is you got to learn how to apply the correct option strategy because most people don't have a ton of money, right? So you want to apply the correct option strategy so you can maximize profits while minimizing risk. And minimizing risk is important because it's not just okay to make the money. How do you keep from giving it back? I know so many people's like, I was up 2,000. Now I'm down 2,000. It's like, dude, how do you watch your account go up and down? It's because you typically don't have any strategies. Okay. So did you learn something today? Was this eye-opening, mind-opening for you? I hope so. I hope your takeaway from this is, again, I need to learn how to read the chart. I got to determine the best time to buy and sell. And then I got to determine the best strategies to use no matter what the market is doing. If you can get that, then you can navigate this crazy maze called investing and start doing what I like to call is I feel like I can print money. I feel like I can literally print money. Okay. I can go in, read a chart and pull money out of it. Okay. That's why I said pictures worth 1,000, not words, dollars. Because once you learn this, literally your life changes. All right. How you look at going to work changes. How you look at cars and homes changes because you can literally print money to pay for that car, pay for that home. If you got laid off tomorrow, that you and your family would be financially okay because you can generate income from the stock market. All right. So I want to share with you my program, which is Power Trades University. All right. So you're like, this is good stuff. How do I learn how to read the charts? How do I determine the best times to buy and sell? How do I get in on the trades that you're in on? How do I get coaching? How do I get mentorship? All inside of Power Trades University. Now, I'm going to preface this up front. This may not be for you or for everyone that's on this training. Okay. So don't worry if it's not for you, but stick around, hear what I got to say, see if it's for you. If so, we'll make some money together. If not, no worries. Tell one of your friends about me and me and that person will make some money together. So Power Trades University is my 12-month group coaching program. Okay. And so inside of this group coaching program, you get access to me. I go live for 2 hours every single week, breaking down the trades. You get access to my foundations course, my options course, my advanced options course, my master class. Let me just walk you through what those are. Everything that you need to know about the stock market. For the most part, you don't have to go anywhere else. We put it together in a really easy to understand, quickly to understand, and get you up and running inside the program. And then the rest is just practicing it. Okay. And then starting to get confident enough to put real money on the table. All right. Now, inside of Power Trades University, this is the back end of what it looks like. There's a community forum so you can introduce yourself. You can chat with other traders. You can see off to the right, there's the schedule. Every week we do a live 2-hour webinar for our members looking for real trades in the real stock market. You get to ask questions. You also can ask questions inside the forum. You can also see to the left course library. In foundations of stock trading, that's where I'm going to walk you through how to read stock charts. What's the candlestick charts? When's the best time to buy and sell? How to open a trading account, all that stuff. Options explained. I'm going to break down what are calls, what are puts, when to use which one, naked puts, selling calls, buying calls. What are the Greeks? Delta, theta, beta, rho. Okay. All of this stuff is designed to help you become a confident trader, have the strategies in any market. And that's what we teach as we move through the courses. The advanced options course, that's when we start to do spreads, iron condors, butterflies, all this stuff. What does that mean for you? It simply means you'll have a strategy to make more money and lose less. Okay. That's the takeaway I want you to take from that. Make more money, lose less. Okay. And then master classes, we're going to walk you through like that Bollinger Band I showed you, how we put that on Beyond Meat and was able to determine when that was going to break out. You're going to understand what that means, but more importantly, how to use it to find what we call momentum trades. And when we find those momentum trades, that's when we put $50,000, $100,000 behind them, because we've been waiting. And once we see the technical analysis stack up, we take our shot on those trades. Okay. So the foundations course, let me walk you through pricing. Okay. Everybody's like, what's the price? I'm about to walk you through it. All right. Foundations. It's a 16 lesson stock market course. We're going to break down the stock market language. You will understand what they're talking about when you're watching CNBC. We're going to walk you through how to spot bullish trends, bearish trends. You're also going to learn how to read the stock charts, like we talked about, determine the best time to buy and sell. We're going to show you how to find trades that move, so much more. We're going to walk you through a bunch of free tools that you can use online, everything. Now, this course is regular $297, but you can see we got that slashed out because you're not going to pay that today. Let's go to the next course. Options Explained. It's my 30 lesson call and put options trading course. Some people say, well, why didn't you teach this? Why didn't you teach this online for free? It's like, listen, I put a 1 hour video up on YouTube or something like that. There's no way we can go through 30 lessons on the free platform. All right. You want to learn more. You want to go in depth. It's happening right here inside the program. All right. We're going to walk you through how to supercharge your trades in bullish markets. We're going to walk you through 3 strategies for up, down, and sideways markets. So we're going to show you how you can make money in all 3 markets. Okay. We're going to show you how to reduce your risk and increase your chance of profitability. I'm also going to walk you through the profit strategies for falling stocks. So how do you make money? Number 1, how you find stocks that are falling. And number 2, how do you make money from them? Or if it's a stock you love, how do I protect myself from it while I'm waiting for the market to turn around? Regular price $597. You're not going to pay that today. All right. Advanced options. This is my 13 lessons advanced options course. So if you've never heard of the word direction neutral trading strategies, this simply means these are strategies where you don't care if the market goes up or down because you're neutral. You don't care. You don't care if it goes up or if it goes down because these are neutral trading strategies. I can't even say it. I'm so excited. But these are my favorite types of trades. If you don't want to guess, is the market going up? Is the stock going down? These neutral advanced strategies are for you. We're also going to show you how to repair a losing trade and bring in money, right? So that you can buy something else. So let's say you got $10,000 tied up in a trade. Most people don't know that they can pull $2,000, $3,000 out of that and go use it to buy another stock or use it to buy put options and make money on the way down. We're going to show you how that works. If you ever heard of iron condor, butterfly strategies, all that advanced stuff, we're breaking it down in this advanced course. The takeaway, you will have strategies that are neutral, where you don't care if the market's going up. You'll know how to repair a losing trade, and you'll learn how to pull money out of a trade so that you can use it for something else. Okay. And then advanced technicals. By the way, that course is $1,000 or $997, but you won't pay that today. Now, advanced technicals. This is where things get juicy, okay? We're going to teach you about moving averages. So what is that? We got a moving average masterclass. We got a profit squeeze with Bollinger Bands. We'll show you how to find those squeezes. What does it mean when it break out? How do you set up your your chart, everything you need to know about Bollinger Bands, okay? Not everything. The primary stuff you need to know about Bollinger Bands to use it to find trades that are moving. The money entries with MACD and stochastic, if you've seen those indicators but don't know how to use them, I'm breaking down how to find the money entries. At what point does it show it's money time and it's time to put our money to work? The art of getting ahead of the chart. We're going to go to some advanced chart reading strategies and so much more in the master classes. You could purchase it separately for $29.97. Guess what? You're not going to pay that today. But let's take an inventory of everything we talked about. Foundations course $297, not going to pay that today. Options explained $597. Advanced options $997. Masterclass $29.97. And then if you just wanted to join my group coaching program, it's $2,500 annually. So if you add it all up, $7,338. And no, I don't flinch when I say that price because some people buy everything separately, but it's worth that and much more. If I could, let's just pause for a second. I just showed you how I made $100,000 in one day. I showed you how I made $250,000 in 2 weeks of 2020. I showed you how in, 2019, I made almost $400,000 in just 6 months. Don't anyone tell me that type of knowledge is not worth $7,338. I'd pay that twice if that's the type of money that I can make. But, however, that's not what you'll pay today, all right? So you won't pay the $7,338. So, Jason Brown, okay, you got me interested. What are we talking about here? Okay, so here's the special. I don't know how long we're going to run it. If you've been following me for some time, our old special ended and everyone emailed and said, can I get the old special? And the answer is no, because once it ends, we typically don't go back to it, or we're always adding courses to the program. We're adding different things in which there's cost added to the business. And so I always say, get the current promo, because once that goes away, typically the price only goes up because we keep adding stuff, or you can buy it a la carte. But here's what we got for you today. The complete Power Trades University bundle with the courses and bonuses that I didn't even talk about. So the foundations course, where we break down how to buy and sell stocks, the terminology, how to set up your trading account, how to do that fundamental research, is all in there. Options explain how to use calls, how to use puts, how to use naked puts, how to supercharge your trades in good markets, how to profit from stocks falling. It's all in the Options Explained course. The advanced options, how to do direction neutral trades, okay, how to make money no matter which direction the market is going. The master classes, how to use technical analysis, MACD, Bollinger Band, moving averages, and so much more. Plus, the 2-hour live weekly group coaching session. We're also going to walk you through how to open your brokerage account. You're going to get the brokerage account training mini course. We're also going to walk you through charting software. We also have some charting software inside of our university. We're also going to give you all of my cheat sheets. So all my stock cheat sheets, my options cheat sheets, my advanced options cheat sheets, all of it is going to be included. And we're going to give you the options Greek mini course that we talked about, which it's technically a separate course, but you're going to get access to that as well. So you got 2 ways to join, right? Option 1 is $9.99 to join, and then it's $199 a month. So for those people who are like, I need a payment plan, there you go. So you save 56% off the $7,333 price. It's $1,000 to join, and then it's just $200 a month, right? Come party with us, come learn this stuff, and rock with me for about 12 months. Let me help you earn your investment back, okay? Now, option 2 is for those people who understand the power of what we're offering here, who also don't like payment plans or whatever the case may be. When you pay up front for the year, okay, so the annual is $2,500. So you save about 66% off the regular price. So one time, I shouldn't say one time, it's one time a year. Okay, so it's $2,500 a year. If you choose to stay in the program another year, then it's $2,500 again. But not because but sounds like, if I'm showing you the type of trades that we can make, okay? And what I'm really want to say is most of our members have been with us 3 years, 4 years, because they see such a high value return on the education, plus following the real trader, plus the trades we pick, that it's a no-brainer that they stay in it year after year. But there's no contracts, no commitments. You can join anytime, you can cancel anytime. We just don't offer any refunds because you get access to the entire suite of courses. You get access to my trades immediately. You get access to me and my team immediately, okay? So let me answer a couple of commonly asked questions. And by the way, if for some reason I didn't answer your question, there should be like a little email box down there on the side. Put your question in there. It'll come to us in email, and my team or myself will respond to your question if for some reason there's something I didn't ask. But let's go through some of the most commonly asked questions we get anytime we do a session like this. Is there a contract or a commitment? There's no contract. There's no commitments. Like I said, stay as long as you like. We just don't offer any refunds, okay? So stay as long or as little as you like. What if I can't make the live session? So the live group coaching sessions are typically held on Mondays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we also, sometimes if the market's closed on Monday or something happens, we shift them to Wednesday. But typically it's Monday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. All sessions are, and that's Eastern Time, all sessions are recorded and uploaded. So you can always go back and watch the recorded session and see what you missed. We also have something called a trade tracker. If you don't have time to watch the 2-hour live webinar, you can go straight to the trade tracker and say, okay, what trades are we looking at today or this week? What are we thinking about buying or selling? And then how much time do I need to commit to this a week? So I would say at least 2 hours per week. If you don't have at least 2 hours to commit to showing up live or at some point watching the replays, I'll be the first person to tell you, don't get started. But I'll also say this, because I don't want to let you off the hook. If you don't have 2 hours a week and you're not financially where you want to be at in life, what the heck are you doing that you don't have 2 hours a week? We can make excuses, kids, soccer, this, that, and the third. But I guarantee you, if I followed you around, you're probably watching TV, right? There's some things that you can do. Turn off the TV, stop browsing on Facebook, and you can log in on your mobile phone, your iPad, or watch it at a desktop computer and start learning this information. So I'm always, when people tell me, I would love to, but I don't have time. And I think, well, what are you spending your time doing? You got a lunch break at work. You telling me you eat? And what do you do for your 1 hour lunch break? Start packing your lunch and use that hour to watch the videos on your phone. So we all got 24 hours in the day. What separates the successful people is quite simple. It's how they use their 24 hours. All right. And so I'm not going to beat that dead horse. Is this for new or experienced traders? It's for both. Okay. This program is structured to help beginners grow to confident traders, and then to help any trader, no matter what level, learn the advanced strategies to hedge against risk and how to supercharge your trades like I do on some of mine, where I'm making, $150,000 in one trade. We call that supercharging or power trading. Okay. And so anybody can benefit from the program, but we don't leave anyone out, which is why it comes as a complete program. Unless you want to buy piece by piece and do what we call self-study, then you can go through it at your own pace, because maybe you already know how to read stock charts, but you just want options. But that is why it's a complete program. Okay. So as we get ready to wrap up, I just want to recap what you get with the Power Trade Bundle. The Foundations course. You're going to be confident about how to read stock charts, how to determine the best time to buy and sell, how to do fundamental research, even if you want to use it for your retirement account, help you better with your 401k at work. The information in here is going to allow you to have that conversation with your investment professional and actually understand what they're talking about. Okay. Options explained. I'm going to show you how to, maybe you got a retirement account, you got a bunch of stock, and you want to bring in what I like to call rental income. All right. So we're going to teach you how to sell options and bring in money every month. I call that my rental income strategy. That's in that course. Advanced options, directional, neutral trading strategies. We're going to show you exactly how to do trades where you don't care if the stock or the market is going up or down, and you can possibly still get paid. The master classes, if you always want to know what the technical analysis was, moving average, Bollinger Bands, MACD, and so much more, we're breaking it all down in there. We literally put together the complete program for you to be successful. And then when you pair that with the fact that you get to connect with me for 2 hours a week live, ask questions. We also have Q&As that we do from time to time. And then you also got the community forum to network with other traders who have been trained the same way that you've been trained, which is very important because some people join programs and people haven't gone through the same learning curve. So you get in there, they're talking about penny stocks, they're talking about day trade and stuff like this. This is a group of members who all see the market how I see it, okay? And they have their own little twist on it, but the point is everyone's kind of gone through the same learning curve and learning material, and so we think and see things roughly the same in here, okay? And so all the bonuses are also going to be yours. 2 options. There's a button on the side you should be able to click that'll take you to the website so that you can join and purchase. Again, $9.99 join fee. And then it's $199 a month. You get access to everything immediately. We just don't do refunds because we're just not into the people who want to join, go through everything, and then cancel and say they didn't learn anything. Those are not our people. So the second one, again, is committing for 12 months. If you don't like payment plans, you'll save a little bit more. It's $2,500 annually, and that gives you access to everything for 1 year. And then if you want to renew after that year, you can renew and you'll be, locked in for another year. You'll have access. So let me wrap up with this, guys. Again, if you got a question I didn't answer, feel free to type it in the box because we're coming up on that 1 hour mark and I want to keep this under an hour. Maybe you're watching this on your lunch break, but here's what I say. If not this, then what? You've been watching probably YouTube videos, Googling stuff, and you've been looking for a long time. So if not this program, then what? It's not by chance that you came across me, my program. Okay, maybe you believe in God like I do, but there's a reason this was put in front of you. If you've been saying you want to learn the stock market, you want to be a better trader, a better investor, here is your opportunity, okay? So if not this, then what? The other thing I'll say is, if not you, then who? I remember when my mentor told me that, I was like, well, my brother. He said, well, if your brother was going to save your family's financial tree and like build legacy for your kids, he would have already done it. And I have to look in the mirror and say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Like no one's taking care of my wife. No one's taking care of my kids. No one's putting me in the house I want. It's only the person staring back at you in the mirror. Okay. So if not you, then who? Who's gonna be the one in your family to step up instead of everybody saying, oh, I heard about the stock market, but nobody, we just don't know how it works. Ha ha ha. Neither did grandpa. Right. I like knowing that like from here on down, my kids gonna be like, oh, my dad was in the stock. My dad made those videos, but my dad set us up with our first investments. Like that's where it all changed for my family tree. Okay. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is, if not now, then when? So many people say, well, not right now. And I'm going to wait for 2 months for life to settle down. Let me give you a tip. Okay. Let me tell you something that I know to be true. Life does not slow down. You have more kids, your car breaks down, your boss puts an extra task on your desk that you don't get paid for. Okay. Life does not slow down. You have to carve out and make time for the things that are important to you. And I can guarantee you this because I'm living proof. Once my money was able to work for me, I was able to buy my time back. Okay. I used to work 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours for a major cable company, and I made about $110,000 a year. Now I'm staring at trades where I make $100,000 in a day, and I just bought the rest of my year back. I have 364 days before I need to place another trade because I've already made what I used to make on that job in a year. So I want you to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. This is an opportunity to buy your time back, but it's going to take a commitment and an investment upfront from you in the beginning. So click the link, go to the page, put in your credit card info. You'll get immediate access, create your username and password, and I'll see you on the other side. Again, if there's a question I didn't answer, feel free to shoot us an email by putting your question in that box, and me or my team will respond to you. I appreciate you rocking with me. Have a great day, and I will see you on the other side.